So, today's video is not a question. It is not a topic recommended by a viewer, a friend, or someone else. Instead, it is more of a justification for something that I have wanted since I was around 8 years old. For the record, as of the date this video goes live, I am 21. I'll be 22 in a few weeks. So this is something that I have wanted for a very, very long time. And that something, you might have guessed it from the title of this video, is Gnome Paladin. I know that I am not the first to bring them up, nor will I be the last, but since it is something that I have wanted so badly for so long, I felt like I needed to get my feet wet and present a case as to why and how they could and should exist. In fact, with the case I'm going to present today, it is almost criminal for how Gnome Paladin hasn't happened yet. And I mean that with the utmost honesty. It is a damn tragedy that we haven't seen Gnome Paladin yet. We even got Gnome Hunter before Paladin, and that is a criminal action. But instead of talking around it, instead of beating bushes, let's just talk about it. This is my case for Gnome Paladin. And I should mention, Blizzard, hey Blizzard, if you find this video, please add Gnome Paladin, please, I beg you. So right off the bat, it has to be mentioned, because it is one of, if not the most important factors in this entire case. Gnomes can already be priests. Starting in Cataclysm, gnome priests were added to the game, giving the race its first taste of holy magic. And I know what you're saying. Oh, but Dave, those gnome priests, they aren't actually priests, they are actually just medics. Blizzard has stated so themselves. Which I would respond with, this entire medic argument against Gnome Paladin and Gnome Priest is so misconceptualized and based on purely false information. Because it's a common misconception that gnome priests are just medics, that they don't actually use the light to heal, but use practical things like first aid kits, bandages, and or technology in its place. And it's that gnome priest really only exists because it is the closest thing that represents what they do. But that is just simply not true. The medics of Gnomanity do use the holy light much like any other priest. It's just that the misconception usually comes from their choice in titles. Instead of using a title like cleric or prophet or inquisitor, etc., gnomes have come to prefer to their peers that wield the holy light as doctors, medics, surgeons, etc. They still use the light, it's just their preferred titleage is a lot different. And as for Blizzard stating that gnome priest doesn't actually use the holy light, well, that argument is just plain incorrect. Because back during Cataclysm, I believe, Blizzard was actually asked as to why gnomes can be priests, and the answer puts this entire argument to bed. The question was, why are gnomes suddenly interested in the light? In which Blizzard responded with, the gnomes have had an interest in the light since they joined the Alliance, but they were so focused on technology and later the retaking of Gnomeregan that studying the light didn't feel necessary to them. Now that the gnomes have reclaimed a foothold in Gnomeregan and begun rebuilding their culture outside of Ironforge, however, they've recognized the importance of having followers of the light in their own ranks. In addition, researching new methods of purifying irradiated gnomes has led to radical advances in light-based technology. And I think that description really details why Gnome Priest exists and how Gnome Paladin can come about. For it was the dwarves and humans of the Alliance that made the gnomes aware of the light and its power. The Holy Light is a staple religion and one of the driving forces behind the Alliance, especially in the human kingdoms. And as with all religions, there will be a push to convert those who have yet to take up the Holy Light's teaching teachings. The gnomes have already been subjected to these lessons while aiding the Alliance prior to the Shattering, and have now chosen to take them up, hence the sudden appearance of Gnome Priest in the Cataclysm. But there will always be a push for more, whether it be on the recommendation of humanity, dwarf kind, or humanity's own inner drive for innovation. The gnomes will see and approach the light as a tool, a belief and power that can be used to invent and reform. We've already seen this same sentiment occur with the arcane, the fell, the shadow, and undeath. So why not then the holy? For any can wield the light so long as they believe in their cause. If the gnomish cause is innovation with technology, well, that's more than enough reason for the light to answer their call. And those innovations would certainly lead to better medicine, better innovation in medical science, light-forged technology, and just perhaps a breed of holy warriors that use the light to defend the kingdoms of Gnomeregan and Mechagon from all harm. Now, I know what many might say or bring up about this. The gnomes, their connection to the holy light, it is weak. It doesn't have the same bond as it does with the humans or dwarves. And this is true. It's even been stated in the past, but that's just it. It was stated in the past, implying a passage of time. Surely, if given enough time and training, a gnome's connection to the light can be reinforced, strengthened to match the connection of their peers. As we know, you don't just become a master in a day. To be powerful, one must have the knowledge and the skill to perform at the higher levels. Gnomes, being without the light for as long as they were mere novices in Cataclysm. But enough time has gone by to presume a gradual increase in power for all gnomes involved, hence a possible change from doctor and medic to knights and crusaders. To further back this up, if we go back in time just a little bit, groups of gnome priests can be recruited in the Priest Order Hall of Netherlight to do battle with the Burning Legion, implying that they now have the skill to be on equal footing with those like the Draenei. And if the gnomes have that type of prowess with the light now, well, following suit with how the first paladins came about, all they need to do is slap on some plate armor and go to war. Now, if you're one of those, you might be saying, "Oh, but Dave, what about Night Elf Paladin? They've had a lot more plot toward becoming a paladin than anyone else. Surely they would get it over Gnome, right?" In which I would respond with, yeah, there is an argument for Night Elf Paladin, but I am biased, and the elves literally get everything. So you know what? Screw the elves. We're not talking about them. Go back to your tree. Oh, wait. But in all seriousness, there is a case for Night Elf Paladin, or perhaps something better than Night Elf Paladin. But this is a video for my dream class race combo, so I won't say any more about the Kaldorei. But if you do want a case for Night Elf Paladin, you can let me know in the comments. If you have any questions or comments about this video, Warcraft, or its lore, you can leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to read each and every one of them. Thanks for watching, and remember well.